Morning everybody, and welcome to our moment of reflection. My name is Mandie Cran, and this week we're talking about stars and the 2 reasons why you are a star. I'm doing these tips for about 4 years now. I really started off doing them. I was quite a difficult place at the time, and I found that by doing this sort of research and writing something for myself, it actually helped other people too. And so now I really help people to see the world in a different perspective, and it's sort of built and grown over the last 4 years. So that's why I'm here today, sharing this information with you. As we go through, please do share it with somebody that you think it might really help, who it might be appropriate for. So any mums out there who you know are stars, who need a bit of a lift up and a perk and a pat on the back, then please share this with them, so hopefully they will benefit from it. So as it's nearly Christmas time, I want to talk about stars. And stars are a huge part of Christmas. We have the Star of Bethlehem, the star that the wise men followed. We have stars on Christmas trees. All Christmas cards have loads of stars, really sparkly, clear night with the sleigh rides and that sort of thing. So stars are a huge part of Christmas. And that's why I want to talk about them today, really. And I said at the beginning that there's 2 reasons why you were a star. And here's the first one. For the last few months, you have probably spent ages, spending an awful lot of time thinking about Christmas. You've been planning menus, getting food in, perhaps baking and putting stuff in the freezer. Spent a lot of time buying presents, wrapping presents, decorating the tree. Perhaps you love making things. You've been making a wreath for the front door, or you've been making your own candles or crackers or something like that. And it's all wonderful, wonderful stuff that makes a really special Christmas. But it does take a lot of time and a lot of effort. And if you're working as a mum, then the chances are by the time you get to Christmas, you're pretty tired. Because you really want to make it special. You know, it's all little extra little things that make such a difference on Christmas Day. And for children particularly, which Christmas is so special, the more little things that you can do just really, really, really lifts it. But you've been probably doing all that work by yourself. If I'm right, I'm a mum, so I know the chances are you'll be doing it all by yourself. And the thing is, you need to give yourself a huge, huge pat on the back because you're a real star. Because without you, Christmas wouldn't happen. And all those lovely things I talked about simply wouldn't happen. So give yourself a big pat on the back. But it does take a lot of time, and especially if you're working too, you're probably, by the time you get to Christmas, you're going to be quite tired and quite exhausted, like, oh, you know, I do wish this was all over. Well, what I would say to you is, we're almost at Christmas now, we're in a few days away. Now's the time to step back and just say, do you know what, I've done as much as I can. If it hasn't happened, if the Brussels sprouts don't get cooked on Christmas Day, well, just so be it. It really doesn't matter in the scheme of things. Take a step back, really enjoy time with the family, and embrace the fact you are a star. You've put it all together. Now just relax and enjoy it. Please don't get to next week and either go, oh, thank goodness it's all over, or be so tired and drained that you didn't enjoy it in the first place, because what's the point of putting all that effort in if that's the case? So you need to remember that you are a star. But I said 2 reasons why you're a star. And the other reason is this. If you think back to the beginning of the Big Bang and so on and so forth, everything was one big mass of sort of boiling, burning gas and nuclear fusion and so on. And over millions and millions of years, billions of years, we've ended up where we are today. But the reality is that you've come from those stars. Every mineral in you has been in a star. And there's a few minerals which aren't in you, which are in stars, but not many, or that we know about anyway. And so the reality is you're made of stardust. And I think that's a wonderful thought. Really, really wonderful thought. We don't think about this actually quite enough. We're so busy rushing around our day-to-day lives, we don't really take a step back and think about things in a different way. That's what I really want to encourage you to do. So this is what I'd like you to do over the next week or so, if you can. On a clear night, it has to be a clear night, is to look up at the stars. Now, I do a lot of sailing, as most of you will know, and when you're out at sea on a clear starlit night, there's no ambient light, there's no street lights, there's no office block type lights, and therefore it's much, much darker. The stars are much, much clearer. And when you're looking up at the sky, the stars sort of just hang there. You can almost reach out and touch them, they seem so close. But also you can see so many more stars that you wouldn't normally be able to see with street lights around. And I would sort of just sit there on the deck at the night time and just look up at the stars. And I really encourage you to do this, because when you look up at the stars and you realise that most of what you can see is the Milky Way, which has millions and millions of stars in it, and there's millions and millions of other galaxies like the Milky Way in the universe, and there might potentially be millions and millions of universes, that's just so big that our brain simply can't comprehend the size of that. What we can comprehend is that just looking up at even the Milky Way makes us realise how infinitesimally small we are. And here's the thing, if you're infinitesimally small, then your problems are infinitesimally small. And that's the real point I want to make. If the Brussels sprouts don't get cooked on Christmas Day, in the scheme of things, it actually really doesn't matter, so please don't get stressed about it. But I do encourage you to look up at the stars And I've always found whenever I had going through a bad time, I've looked up at the stars and just thought, you know, in the scheme of things, actually, this isn't very big, and I can move on from that. So I've always found that really, really helpful. But also, when you're looking up at the stars, remind yourself that you're made of stardust. Okay, so 2 reasons why you're a star. If you like that, then please do share it with a mum who perhaps has been working very hard coming up to Christmas time, just to try and help her to step back a little bit and really enjoy Christmas. So I hope you like that. Join me next. Well, it won't be next Friday, in fact, because it's Christmas. So I'm taking a couple of weeks off over the next few weeks to spend time with my family, which is really, really important. And I'll be back in the new year again, Friday at 10 o'clock, with another moment of reflection. If I haven't met you yet, then my name is Mandie Cran, and people come to me when they realise that they need to make changes in their life if they're going to have quality family time and better health in the years ahead. And one of the things that I really see people struggling with are mums, and that's why I do tend to talk to mums in these moments of reflection. So if you're a working mum who rushes back and forth to school and work and also be really busy over Christmas, you might feel guilty that you're missing all the stuff. You might be missing the Christmas show or the Nativity play at school, which is a real shame. Or you might be the mum who stays at home, but because you're not working, you can't afford to get the really nice Christmas presents for the children. And that's a tough place to be in both those cases. So if you'd like my personal support to help you see through the fog, then for a limited time, until the 15th of January next year, that's only 3 weeks away, I'm offering a special Ditch the Guilt clarity session for mums. And during the session, we'll work together to find out why you're feeling guilty and what your hidden triggers are, because it might not be quite what you think, what you really want your life to look like, and how to move forward with an action plan so you can be more guilt-free in the future. If you'd like to book that, then please go to my Facebook page, click on the link on the left that says Ditch the Guilt session, and book a slot there. So that's it for today. Have a fabulous Christmas and New Year. I'll be back in the New Year, as I said, where I'm going to be talking about leaving a legacy. Have a wonderful holiday and a great rest, and I'll see you soon. All the best.